Hi, everybody. Welcome to Grace with Paul Gray. Yesterday, I asked you to imagine that you were a detective working to help a man discover his birth father. And you narrowed it down to two men with the same name, Victor McAllister, both from Topeka, Kansas, both still alive, both morally upright. Both were upstanding citizens, businessmen, but when you dug a little deeper, you found that they were vastly different. One was a plant foreman for a big manufacturing plant and was stern, harsh, demanding, watched his employees like a hawk, kept detailed records of their mistakes, was extremely critical and impossibly demanding. He was honest and had nothing against him and his record or anything. He just was hard to get along with. He demanded respect, and people were too afraid of him not to try to please him. The other was just the opposite. He owned a small mom-and-pop bakery. He was relaxed, joyful, easygoing. He genuinely loved people, didn't hold a grudge, gave everybody multiple second chances, was encouraging, and nobody gave him a bad report. You certainly hoped that the baker was your client's birth father, but the only way to find out was to interview them and do some more work. First, you got an appointment with the plant foreman. He wasn't happy to see you. Turns out he did put a baby up for adoption a few weeks after his birth. He admitted that he wasn't into babies. This one cried a lot, had the colic, never slept, really irritated him, so he told his wife they had to give him up for adoption, and he never wanted to hear from him again. Pretty harsh, right? It came out that this man had several children, a couple of whom he raised, but all the others he gave up for adoption for similar reasons. They just irritated him. Not the kind of guy you'd want for a father. You interviewed the two whom he raised, and both actually worked for him. And they admitted reluctantly that they were afraid of their dad, that they worked very hard to please him, but they pretty much walked on eggshells all the time. Not a pretty picture. Next, you went to the bakery. That man was ecstatic to see you. He tearfully related how his wife died a few days after giving birth. He was in the Army, and he only had a few days before he was shipping out to Vietnam. Both his and his wife's parents had passed away, and there were no other family members who could care for the baby. He expected to be in Vietnam for at least 2 years, and he wasn't sure if he'd ever come home alive. Although he hated to do it, for his baby's well-being, he gave him up for adoption. However, he knew the people who adopted him. It was an open records adoption, and he regularly sent them money to help support the boy. And he wanted to meet him when he turned 21. He didn't want to do it until then because he didn't want to take anything away from the adoptive parents and their relationship with the boy. Some of this man's other children by his second wife worked with him there in the bakery, and they obviously adored their father. Boy, you hoped he was your client's dad. You knew that to find out, you had to ask the baker the names of the couple whom adopted your client. Tomorrow, we'll find out more. Join me then. See ya.